Captain Deshant here. We secured the underground route to the coordinates. I should have seen it coming.
And this review is going to be on Resident Evil 5. I'm going to be going over some of the graphics, some of the story, and the gameplay mechanics, and what makes this game so good. Just to let you know, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, you may have your own opinion, and that's perfectly fine. This game is not as good as Resident Evil 4 was, but it is a very close second. It takes a lot from Resident Evil 4, and as you can see, the graphics are absolutely amazing. The graphics are 100% better than Resident Evil 4's graphics. Although graphics do not make a game, in my opinion, story and gameplay mechanics are where it's at. That's what really makes the game worthwhile in playing. But the graphics here are absolutely amazing. I mean, I had to watch this cutscene, I think, 3 or 4 times to actually understand the story because I was so taken back by the graphics. Coming up here, we'll get into some of the music, some of the mood, some of the gameplay mechanics and whatnot. But Sheva Alomar, you're meeting right now, with Sheva Alomar, and she is going to be your partner throughout the whole game. And there are some issues I want to talk about with that. This game was definitely developed for co-op play, and the AI is not that intelligent. They will run in the way. They will shoot you instead of the enemies if there's an enemy in front of you. But here we're going to break into some scenes now.
I'm going on ahead. We'll meet up there. Good luck.
So during the game, you will find certain parts where you have to split up with your partner. You have to let Sheva go up above or leave her behind on these certain routes that you couldn't take because the ladder is broken as of right there or something else. And where this game really shines is in its co-op play. Now, I would say sitting down with a friend and playing split screen would be the best way to get the best experience out of the game. But if you can't do that and you can find somebody online, that is still a very good way to play the game. But the game is difficult when you're playing it as a single-player campaign because, as I said, your partners use up all your ammo, all your health, and everything that you have fought so hard to save. So really right now what we're doing is item management. So I'm taking everything from my partner and only giving my partner what they need to survive, a little bit of ammo so that they can help me out, and a little bit of health so that if they do get low on their health, they can replenish it. But you want to keep their items at a minimum and give them stuff that you don't need, because if you give them stuff that you will need, they will use it rapidly and as fast as they can. So it is best to only give your partner, if you are not playing co-op play, if you are playing single player by yourself, to give only your partner what they need. As you can see here, some of the enemies include dogs that mutate. The enemies have a striking similarity to the Ganados of Resident Evil 4, but as I recall, I think they're called the Majiji. And also there's lots of, the pacing in this game is great. There's different, I wouldn't call this a mini game, but I would call it, it's not where you're walking around and shooting, you're on a rail pretty much in this car, and you have to shoot all the enemies on the bikes and in in the trucks that are coming after you. And it's just paced really well. It is paced to the point where you never get bored in one area, where you're always waiting for what's next, and you can't wait to flesh out the story just a little bit more. You can't wait for that next cutscene. You can't wait for the next adventure that's going to happen, or the next twist and plot turn. And by the way, there are quite a few twists and plot turns in this game. As you can see here, we're fighting the Majiji, and they're all on bikes. This is taking place in Africa. And Leon S. Kennedy in Resident Evil 4 fought the Ganados, I think, in some part of Europe. Now, here we are at a different stage. The music in this game is absolutely stunning, and it really, really sets the mood for the survival horror atmosphere. Let me just give you a little taste of the music while we turn this volume on this music up. So if you are being pursued by an enemy, the music will change into a different type of, you're being chased kind of feel. And right now there's no enemies around, so it's kind of a silent, creepy silence. But overall, this game is an absolutely wonderful game. The story is great. The plot is great, and it is one of the best games I have played in the Resident Evil series. It's not as good as number 4, but I don't think anything will ever be as good as number 4 was. So we've gotten to that part of the review where it is time to give Resident Evil 5 a score. And based on what I have said in the review, it is an absolutely great game. The story is engrossing and keeps you wanting more. Every cutscene, you want to get to that next cutscene, you want to get to that next boss, you want to figure out and flesh out the plot of the story, and it's done really well. The only part of this game that fails, in my opinion, is, well, there's two parts. It really doesn't give you the full atmosphere of a survival horror game, although it is very survival horror-ish in its ways. But it's not as survival horror style as the first 4 Resident Evils were, and even Code Veronica X and Code Veronica and all those games. It just lacks a little bit. It's more of a action shooter, a third-person action shooter instead of a survival horror game, but there's still a lot of survival horror elements. And it also really lacks on the co-op play. If you're not playing with somebody, your AI is very unintelligent and does really dumb things. And that is where I took off some points. So ultimately, Resident Evil 5 gets a 9 out of 10. I just took off some points for the fact that it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, I guess you would say. It's still an incredible game, and I still recommend it to everybody who is a fan of the Resident Evil series. It keeps the story going. It takes you into a new era of the Resident Evil universe, and it's just a great game. It's really fun to play through, and there's tons of unlockable costumes and modes, and the mercenary, I didn't talk much on the mercenaries mode, but that came back in this game as well. So ultimately a 9.0 out of 10 for Resident Evil 5. Thank you guys so much for watching my review, and stay tuned. My 100 subscriber video will be coming up soon. I think I have one more subscriber to get, and I will be doing, I think, a little giveaway as well as my PlayStation 1 collection. So take care, everybody, and have a good night.